So now start with the further part of the book. Where did you get it from? Omi queried. It is a gift from Parekh he said in me. He sees the party's future. I worked day and night. We visited every district in Gujarat. He said, if we have more people like Bittu, people will proud to be Hindu again. Made me the requirement in charge for young people in Ahmedabad. Ish and I looked at Omi for footnotes. Parekh ji is a senior Hindu party leader and he heads the biggest temple trust in Baroda. Omi said, what? He knows the CM or something, Mama. Parekh ji not only knows the CM but also talk to him twice a day. Vittu Mama said, and I told Parekh ji about you, Omi. I see in you the potential to teach Hindu pride to young people. But Mama, I am working full time. I am not telling you to leave everything, but get in touch with the greater responsibility we have. We are not just priests who speak memorized lines at the ceremonies. We have to make sure India's future generation understand Hindu properly. I want to invite you to a grand feast to Parekh ji's house. You should come to his next day in Gandhinagar. Of course, blasphemous. Me got no invitation. Thanks, Mama. It sounds great. But I do not know if we can, Ish said. How come some people are so good at being polite? Why? Do not worry, it is just priests. Many young working people will come. I do not like politics, Ish said. Oh, this is not politics, son. It is a way of life. I will come, Omi said. But you should come too, Ish. We need young blood. Ish stayed hesitant. Oh, you think Parekh ji is some old traditional man who will force you to read scriptures? Do you know where Parekh ji went to college? Cambridge and then Harvard. He had a hotel business in America which he sold and came back. He talks your language. Oh, he used to play cricket too for the Cambridge college team. I will come if Govind comes, said he's the idiot. Mama looked at me in his eyes. I was the reason why Hindu culture has deteriorated lately. Well, I come to invite the three of you in the first place. He only said he does not believe in God. I did not say that. I said, oh, I forget it, I thought. Then come. Mama stood up, all three of you. I will give Omi the address. It is the greatest house in Gandhinagar. People called me Mr. Accounts, greedy, miser, anything, but the fact is that I did organize an all expense paid booze party to motivate my partners at the shop. It is bloody hard to get alcohol in Ahmedabad, let alone bulky bottles of beers. One of any contact, Romi Bhaiya, agreed to supply a crate of extra strong beer for $1,000. At 7 p.m. on the day of the party, Romi Bhai left the beer wrapped in the racks at the SBI compound entrance. I came to the gate and gave Romi Bhai the day's newspaper. On the third page of the newspaper, I had stapled 10,000 rupee notes. He nodded and left. I dragged the cloth package inside and placed the bottle in the 3 ice-filled bucket I had kept in the kitchen. I looked out the bottle opener from the kitchen shelf, where we kept everything from Maggi noodles to boxes of crackers to burst when India won a match. Another person may see the abandoned SBI branch as an airy party venue. This used to be an old man's Haveli. The owner could not repay and bank foreclosed the property. Thereafter, the bank opened a branch in the Haveli. The owner's family filed a lawsuit after he died. The dispute is still unresolved. The family obtained a court injunction that the bank could not use the property for profit. Meanwhile, SBI realized that a tiny lane in Balrampur was a terrible branch location. They vacated the premises and gave the keys to the court. The court's official kept a key with the homage that a trustworthy man in the area. This was done in the case officials needed to view it. The court was closed. Of course, no one ever came and Omi has access to the keys. The property was a 6,000 square yard plot. Used by Balrampur standards, the front entrance directly opened into the living room. Now an abandoned bank customer service area. The 3 bedrooms on the floor were the branch manager's office, the data room and the lockers room. The branch manager's office had a giant 6 feet vault. We kept our cricket kit in the otherwise empty safe. We hung out most in the Haveli's backyard. In its prime, It was the lawn of a rich family as part of the bank branch. It was an underutilized parking lot, and now our practice pitch. I rotated the beer bottles in the ice bucket to make them equally cold. He walked into the bank so late. I said it is 8:30. Sorry, watching cricket highlights. Wow, a strong beer is said as he picked up the bottle. We had parked ourselves in the on the sofas in the old customer waiting area downstairs. I reclined on the sofa. Ish went to the kitchen to get some bhujia. Omi here, Ish said as he opened the packet. No, I am on the only fool. I take delivery, clean up the place, and wait for my lords to arrive. Partners, man, partners, is corrected. Should we open a bottle? No, wait. Omi arrived in 10 minutes. He made apologies about his dad holding him back to clean the temple. Omi then prayed for forgiveness before drinking alcohol. Cheers, all of us said as we took a big sip. It was bitter and tasted only slightly better than phenyl. What is this? Is this genuine stuff? Is asked. We paused for a moment. Spurious alcohol is a real issue in Ahmedabad. Nah, nobody makes fake beer. It is just strong, I said. If you filled your mouth with bhujia, the beer did not taste half as bad. Taste. In fact, the taste improved considerably after half a bottle. As did everyone's mood. I want to see this Ali kid. Three customers has mentioned him, is said. The Muslim boy Omi said. Stop talking like your mama, is scolded. Is that relevant? They say he has excellent timing. Where does he play? I inquired through a mouthful of bhujia. In our school, kids say his most common shot is it's six. Let's go check him out. Looks like the school has your worthy successor, I said. Ish turned silent. It was a sensitive topic, and if it was not for the beer, I would not have said it. Succeeding is hard, Omi said. Remember the 100 against Mahib Municipal School in the 63 balls. No one forgets that inning. Omi stood up and patted his back again, as if the 10-year-old match has ended minutes ago. No one forget the two duck in the state selection trial either, he said and paused again. Screw, you were out of the form, man, Omi said. But those are the matches that ducking mattered, right? Now we can flip the topic. Omi backed up. I gladly changed the subject. I think we should thank our sponsor for tonight, the Team India Cricket Shop. In 7 months of operation, our profit is 42,600 rupees, of which we have distributed 18,000 to the partners and 22,000 is for the Navrangpura shop deposit, and remaining 2,600 is for entertainment like tonight. So thank you. Dear shareholders and partners, let's say cheers to the second bottle. I took out the second bottle for each of us from the ice bucket. A stud boy is slurred, standing up. This business and its profit is all up to a stud boy. Mr. Govind Patel, thank you, buddy. Because of you, this dropout military cadet has a future. And so does this fool who had to be otherwise jingling bells in the temple all his life. Give me a hug, stud boy. He came forward to give me a hug. It was drunk affection, but genuine enough. Will you do me one more favor, buddy? Is said. What? There is someone who wants maths tuition, is said. No, I am full, is 7 students already, I said as is interrupted. It is Vidya, your sister. She finished class 12. She is dropping a year now to prepare for the medical entrance. You do not need maths to become doctor. No, but the entrance exam do. She is awful at it. You are the best man. Who else can I trust? If it is your sister, then I took a breath. Wow, Vidya to join medical college. Is she that old now? Almost 18, dude. I teach younger kids though. Class 5 to 8. Her course is more advanced. I am not in touch. But you got a ducking century in that subject, dude. Just try. She needs any help she can get. I said nothing for a while, trying to remember that I knew of Vidya, which was little. What are you thinking? Oh, I know, Mr. Accounts. Do not worry, we will pay you, Ish said and took a big sip. Shut up, man. It is for your sister. Okay, I will do it. When do we start? Can you start Monday? No, Monday is Parekji's fish. Damn. Oh, what the duck are we going to do there? The things we do to keep your mama happy. I could not wait to move to Nabrangpura. Parekji is supposed to be a great man, Omi said. And I always listen to you guys. Come for me this time. Anyways, twisted and I said to Is. So she is going to come to bank. Dad will never send her out alone. You come home. What? I said. Maybe I should have accepted a fee. Okay, I will move some classes, say 7 in the evening. So, sure. No, can you answer one maths question, Mr. Account said. Ish said, what? You ordered a crate with 10 bottles. We drank 3 each. What is the 10th one? Ish said, stood up swaying. I stood as well. The question is not there when the 10th one is, but who does it belong to? I lunged for the ice bucket. Ish dived in as well. Cold water splashed on the floor as we tugged at the bottle. After a 10-second tiff, he released it. Take it, dude. What would I do without you? This is chapter number 4. Continue with chapter 4. We reached Parekji's residence at around 8 in the evening. 2 armed guards manning the front gate let us in after checking our names. The entrance of the house had an elaborate rangoli, dozen of lamps and fresh flowers. See what a gathering! Bittu Mama met us at the door. Have dinner before the talk begins. From an aarti plate he put big red tilak on our foreheads. He told us Parekji would make a speech after dinner. We moved to the massive food counter, a Gujarati feast considered of every vegetarian snack known to him, man. There was no alcohol, but there was juice of every fruit imaginable. At parties like this, you regret you have only one stomach. I took a Jain pizza and looked around the massive living room. There were 50 guests dressed in either white or saffron. Parekji wore a saffron dhoti and white shirt, sort of a perfect crowd blend. Ish looked oddly out of the place with his skull and crossbones. Black metallic t-shirt apart from us. Everyone has either grey hair or no hair. It looked like a marriage party where only the priests were invited. Most of them carried out some form of accessory like a trisul or a rudraksh or a holy book. Ish and I exchanged what are we doing here glance. Omi went to meet a group of 2 bald whites, one grey saffron and one bald saffron. He touched their feet and everyone blessed him, considering Omi met these kinds of people often. He had one of the highest per capita blessing ratio in India. The food is excellent, no? Omi returned. Food in Gujarat was always good, but still people keep saying it is past his Jain dim sum to Omi. What are these people? I asked idly. It is quite simple, Omi said. The people in the saffron are priests or other holy men from around the city. The people in the white are the political party people. Why are not you eating any dim sums? I do not like Chinese, Ish said. And what is Parekji? Well, he is a guide, Omi said. Now I am going to mention here the name of Ish. Can we say it Isan for better pronunciation and for better reading? So continue. Chairman of the main temple I trust. He knows the politicians really well too. So he is a hybrid of polypriest I deduced. Can you be more respectful? And what is this t-shirt is Isan? Everyone shushed as Parekji came to the center of the living room. He carried a red velvet cushion with him, which looked quite comfortable. He separated from whites and sat down into the 2 neat sections. Where the hell we sit? Ish said as he turned to me. I had worn a blue t-shirt and could not find my color zone. Bittu Mama tugged at Omi's elbow and asked us to join the saffron set. We sat there looking like the protagonists of those ugly ducking stories in our mismatched clothes. Bittu Mama came with three saffron scarves and handed them to us. What? I'm not, I protested Tommy. Just wear it, Omi said and showed us how to wrap it around our neck. Parekji sat on our wonderful magic cushion. There was pin drop silence. He cracked his knuckle once. Omi gave him a dirty look. Everyone closed their eyes apart from me. I looked around while everyone chanted in Sanskrit. They ended their chants after a minute and Parekji began his speech. Welcome devotee. Welcome to my humble home. I wanted especially welcome the team on the right from the Sindhipur temple. They have returned from Kar Seva in Ayodhya for over a month. Let us bow to them and seek blessings. Everyone bowed to a group of six saffrons holding trisuls. Parekji continued, we also have some young people today. We need them badly. Thanks to Bittu Mama who brought them. Bittu is working hard for the party. He will support our candidate, Hasmukhji, for the election next year. Everyone looked at us, gave smiling nods. We nodded back. Devotee, the Hindu religion teaches us to bear a lot, and we do bear a lot. So today's discussion is how much bearing is enough, until who does a Hindu keep bearing pain. Everyone nodded. My knees were stiff with pain from sitting cross-legged. I wondered if I should stop bearing pain right then and stretch my legs. Our scriptures tell us not to harm others. Parekji said they teach us acceptance of all faiths, even if those faiths do not accept us. They teach us patience. Thousands of years ago, our wise men taught such wonderful values, valid even today. And today, you great people, men, pass on these values to society. Parekji said, gesturing at the priest. The priest nodded. At the same time, the scriptures also tell us not to bear injustice. The Gita tells Arjun to fight a virtuous war, so at some point we are meant to fight back. When is that point is something to think about. Vigorous nods shook the crowd. Even though I found the whole gathering and the magic red cushion a bit over the top, Parekji's logic was flawless, and right now I see that injustice again. Hindus being asked to compromise to accept to bear. Hindus asked for the resurrection of one temple. Not any temple, a temple where one of our most revered gods was born. But they would not give it to us. We said we will move the mosque respectfully round the corner, but no, that was considered unreasonable. We tried to submit proof, but that was suppressed. Is this justice? Should we keep bearing it? I am not an old man. I do not have the answers. Ish whispered in my ear. It is politics, man, just pure simple politics. Parekji continued. I do not even want to go into who this country belongs to because the poor Hindu is accused of being ruled by someone 700 years by Muslims. 250 years by British, we are independent now, but the Hindu does not assert himself. But what makes me sad is that we are not even treated as equals. They call themselves secular, but they give preference to the Muslims. We fight for the equal treatment and are called communal. The most brutal terrorists are Muslim, but they saw we are hardliners. More Hindu kids sleep hungry even night than Muslim. But they say Muslim are downtrodden. Parekji stopped to have a glass of water. They say to me, Parekji, why do you know so many politicians? I said, I am servant of God. I do not want to join politics. But if I as a Hindu want justice, I need to get involved in how the country is run. And what other way there to get involved and join politics? So here I am, half saffron, half white, at your service. The audience gave a mini applause, including Omi, Isan and I were too overfed to react. But there is hope, you know where this hope comes from, Gujarat. We are a state of businessmen, and you might say 100 bad things about a businessman, but you cannot deny that a businessman sees reality. He knows how the parts add up, how the world works. We would not stand for hypocrisy or unfairness. That is why we do not elect the pseudo secular parties. We are not communal, we are honest. If we react, it is because we have been bearing pains for a long time. The audience broke into full applause. I used the break to step. I used the break to step out into the front garden of Parekji house and sit on an intricately carved swing. Parekji spoke inside for 10 more minutes. Inaudible to me, I looked at the stars above, attracted to and repelled by him. He had charisma and lunacy at the same time. After his speech, there was a few more closing mantras followed by two bhajans by a couple of priests from Bhuj. Isan came out. You here? Can we go home? I said. I reached Isan's house at 7 p.m. on Tuesday. She sat at her study table. Her room has the typically girly look, extra cream, extra cute and extra pink. Stuffed toys and posters with cheesy messages like I am the boss adorned the walls of the room. I sat on the chair. Her brown eyes looked at me with full attention. I could not help but notice that her childlike face was in process of turning into a beautiful woman. So which areas of math are you strong in? None really, said she said. Algebra, no trigonometry, whatever, calculus. She raised her eyebrow as if I had mentioned a horror movie. Really, I said, disturbed at some indifference to my favorite subject. Actually, I do not like maths much, I said and tried to be a thoughtful professor. You do not like it much, or you do not understand a few things, and so you do not like it yet. Maths can be fun, fun, she said with disgust expression. Yes. She sat up straight and shook her head. Let me make myself clear. I positively hate maths. For me, it occupies a place right up there with cockroaches and lizards. I get disgusted, nauseated, and depressed by it. Between an electric shock or maths test, I will choose the former. I heard some people have to walk 2 miles to get a water in Rajasthan. I would trade my maths problem for that walk every day. Maths is the worst thing ever invented by man. What were they thinking? Language is too easy, so let's make up some creepy symbols and manipulate them to haunt every generation of kids. Who cares if sine theta is different from cos theta? Who wants to know the expansion of sum of cubes? Whoa, that is some reaction, I said, my mouth still open. And fun. If math is fun, then getting a tooth extraction is fun. A viral infection is fun. Rabies shots are fun. I think you are not approaching it the wrong way. Oh, do not get there. I am just approaching it. I am not just approaching it. I have lived, compromised, struggled with it. It is troubled relationship we have shared for years from classes 1 to 12. This subject does not go away. People have nightmares about monsters. I have nightmares about surprise math tests. I know you scored 100 and you are in love with it, but remember, in most parts of the world, maths means only one thing to a student. She stopped to breathe. I had urged to get up and run away. How can I tame a wild beast? What goosebumps? See, I already have them, she said, pulling her kameez sleeve up to her elbow. I thought the little pink dots on her skin were more from the emotional overbrush than maths. I also noticed her in thin arms. It was a fair you could see 3 veins running across. Her hand has a deep line with an exceptionally long life. Her fingers seemed long as they were so thin. She had applied a glittery silver white polish only on the outer edge of the nails. How do women come up with these ideas? What, she said as I checked out her arm for a moment too long. I immediately opened the textbook. Nothing, my job is to teach you maths, not to make you like it. You want to be a doctor, I heard. I want to get a college in Mumbai. Excuse me, I do not want to get out of Ahmedabad. I want to get out of Ahmedabad, but mom and dad would not let me. Unless, of course, it is for a prestigious course like medicine or engineering. Engineering has maths. Maths mean vomit, so it ruled out. Medicine is other choice, and my exist pass. But they have this medical entrance exam and I realized that Vidya did not have an internal pause button. And since I had only an hour and two tutorial equivalent of climbing Everest barefoot, I wanted to come to the point. So which topic you would you like to start with? Anything without equations. I saw your medical entrance exam course. Looks like there are a few scoring areas that are relatively easier. I opened the medical exam entrance guide and turned it towards her. See this probability, I said. And this and permutation will be 25% of the maths exam. Statics is another 10%. No equation here, so can we start with this? Sure, she said. Took a brand out a new exercise. She kept two pens parallel to the notebook. She opened the first page of the probability chapter like she was the most intelligent student in India. Most clueless probability. Probability, I said, is easily the most fun, I said. This because you can actually use the concept in probability to solve everyday problems. Like what? Like what? What? What everyday problems can you solve? Sequel brushing aside a strand of hair. Well, you are going ahead, but let's see. I looked around for 11 easy examples. I noticed her impressively done up room, tucked in a pink bedsheet. On the opposite wall were posters of Westlife, Backstreet Boys, Hrithik Roshan. Next to them was a wall of greeting cards. See those cards? They are birthday cards from my school friends. I had my I had my birthday 2 months. I ignored the information overload. Say there are 20 of them, most are white though, some are colored. How many? 5 colored ones, she said. Scanning the cards, her eyes asking so, cool 5. Now let's say I take all the cards, put them in a sack. Then I pull one card. What is the probability that card is colored? Why would you put them in sacks? She said. Hypothetical. What is the chance? I do not know. Okay. Let's use this example to start the basic premises of probability. Probability can be defined as I said I wrote the lines. Probability number of times something you want happens. Upon number of times some things can happen. How did there are no symbols? She said. See, I told you probability is interesting. Let's look at the denominators. How many different cards can come out if I put out one card from the stack of 20? 20, yet yes of course could do say. I control my irritation. I dumbed down the problem for her and she showed some attitude there. And now the numerator. I want a colored card. How many different colored cards can come up if I pull once? 5. Yep, so let's apply our wordy formula, I said and wrote then. Probability equal to number of times something you want happens of one number of times something can happen equal to 5 upon 20 equal to 0.25. There you go, the probability is 0.25 or 25%, I said and placed the pen back on the table. She reread what I wrote for a few moments. That is simple, but the exam problems are harder, she said at the last. We will get there, but the basic concepts need to be understood first. And you did not vomit. I was interrupted by 2 beeps on her cell phone. She rushed to her bedside table to pick up the phone. She sat on the bed and read the message. My school friend, she is stupid. She smiled fondly at the phone. I kept silent and waited for her to come back. Okay, let's do another one, I said. Let us say we have a jar with 4 red and 6 blue marbles. I finished 3 more problems in the next half an hour. See, it is not that hard when you focus. Good job, I praised her as she solved a problem. You want tea, she said, ignoring my compliment. No thanks, I did not like to have too much tea. Oh, me neither, I like coffee. You like coffee? I like probability and you should too. Can we do next problem? Her cell phone beeped again. She dropped her pen and leaned to her phone. Leave it, no SMSing in my class, I said. It is just, she said as she stopped her midway. I will go if you do not concentrate. I have turned on many students for this class. She was chapped at my firmness. But I'm no Mr. Nice and I hate people who are not focused, especially those who hate maths. Sorry, she said, we have only half hour. Do you do your fun activities later? I said sorry. She picked up her pen again and opened the cap in the disgust. So we are going to cover the chapter 5 in the next of our video. So be continue with it. Thank you.